I'm feeling Italian and musical.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Kill James Bond.
Hey, how are you doing?
2023.
Oh, you can't do that to me right at the fucking start of the episode.
No, it was a callback to the fact that
I know
last time we did this, Dr. No, I hadn't finished voice training yet.
You hadn't
You
even
didn't sound
explained
like
the
that.
conceit.
It's like that's you hadn't started voice training voice. This is different. There was an intermediate Abigail.
So it's more like, hey, welcome to Kill James Bond. It's hard to do that now, actually.
You just sound like you're on Quaaludes.
Just stop controlling that larynx at all. Just try to do it all in your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Abigail. Welcome to Kill James Bond.
We should have waited an additional month, I think. It's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
In case you hadn't guessed, listeners, today we are once again returning to our starting block.
Yep.
We're going to do Dr. No again, but without having watched the episode.
I have a story about this, which is when I started the podcast, someone who I greatly respect and admire said to me, "Oh, that's a great idea. Plus, I think it's really brave of you to, in this day and age, start a project that ends, because everything keeps continuing, right? And it has a defined endpoint. You're gonna run out of Bond movies." And I sort of I picked up my glass. I was like, yeah, absolutely. Because a couple of things, right? First of all, I didn't know it would be this successful. I didn't know I would enjoy doing it with my friends this much. And I didn't know that I would still have to pay rent a year later because I assumed that my landlord would just be killed in the revolution, right? Instead, all of those things happened. And so I had to devise a plan for what we were going to do next. The one that we went with was we're going to watch every movie.
Sorry, there's someone at the door. Be back in a moment.
Who could that be?
I'm leaving that in.
Yeah, leave it in. So...
Get raw, uncut KJB today is what you're getting.
Yeah, because we have to fill time somehow. This is sort of like a very unstructured version. But so my plan A, right? There's what we're doing now. My plan B was we do every movie going from the train coming into the station all the way through to fucking Solaris or whatever, and explain, what does this have to say about masculinity or whatever. That was plan B. My plan A was a much funnier idea that would have been much harder and therefore we didn't do, which was when we run out of Bond movies, we begin season 2 of Kill James Bond. Season 2 is we watch all the Bond, we do all the Bond movies again without rewatching them. And we just...
This becomes a copy of a copy of a copy.
Unbelievably funny idea.
Exactly.
We couldn't do the thing where we watch the movie again every time because that's just a worst idea of all time or something like that. Instead it becomes degraded each run through until it becomes less and less of a James Bond podcast, and we kill him in that sense. It was a really high concept idea. I was really proud of it, and I thought about anything that would have to go into doing it. And I decided, no, instead I'd much rather just watch different films with my friends. But I thought we could give it a try as a special treat for you, the listener.
Because this is our 100th episode as well, right?
Yes,
it is.
We this would be the point at which we would start round 3. We would be watching Dr. No a third time by now.
We'd be talking about Dr. No for a third time. The no-ness would be gone. It would be like everything at the end of time by fucking the caretaker. We would just be losing the Bond.
Yeah. The reach that I want to go for here is a play called Mr. Burns, a post-electric play, which is about a sort of a post-apocalyptic society in which a traveling theater troupe replays old Simpsons episodes because that's, it's a cultural memory and they can remember them, but they can only sort of like partially remember them. And it's all filtered through like whatever is like going on in the apocalypse. And so that was, like I say, I had a very sort of high-minded approach to this. But then
I think that would have been really interesting artistically, but also, God, that'd be a lot of my fucking time.
Yeah, and also like, I feel like I don't listen to podcasts for like high concept art. I listen to them so that I don't feel alone.
Well,
I think we could have hit both at once.
Blossomed into this, but that's what could have been, right? However, there is another problem, which is the conceit that I was going to do was I was going to have us keep our notes, and we would be working off of the same set of notes that we had made contemporaneously with the movie. Those are now about 2.5 notebooks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't
no longer
know.
have that notebook.
They have been recycled.
I don't know where my Dr. No notes are. So this is Dr. No notes from memory, the first James Bond movie. And the only thing I have to guide me are the list of drops that I've saved, and they're all weirdly quiet because I hadn't figured out levels yet.
You are just a stupid policeman.
So
yeah, well, I do have. Luckily, I am possessed of quite a good memory. So I do remember that the film begins with dots, and there's a dot opening title sequence, and
they
three
say this
blind
about
mice.
Abby. They're like, oh, she's got pretty good memories, and she can remember things good too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So we
Tits.
we begin
Nice,
in.
Well, I got this special bra from a femboy influencer that it's called. Never mind.
It makes them very pointed. The spiked bras from like the 1960s.
Yeah, bullet bra. God, I don't make those in my size. It's such bullshit. I would love to be living the pointy tits lifestyle.
Getting those Lara Croft titties.
Exactly, the low polygon titties. So we begin in Jamaica, where
we do,
to the tune of 3 blind mice and a opening thing of a bunch of weird dots. We see
because there was no like Bond theme.
No,
at this point it was just
done.
like
Doctor No. Like that doesn't
no one
happen.
wrote a Doctor No theme.
No,
which
is
sad.
Yeah. These three professional killers, the 3 blind mice, the 3 blind men.
They pretend to be blind, and then they shoot a guy. I don't remember who he is.
He is a British secret agent, the name of whom I do not remember, but they kill his ass completely dead. And in my head,
wait. Is it Strangways?
Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! From nowhere!
Strangways!
If you can't see the webcam, Deb is doing the Professor X fingers like by the side of the head for like a deep fucking recall. You've logged into Cerebro and gone, yo, that dude's name was Strangways, and it was.
They go to his house and they kill his secretary. I remember the blood being really bad.
Yes,
they do. The house was like Ian Fleming's house or something.
Yeah, Goldeneye, and then we go to.
You've made a massive error there. Let's.
We go to London.
Because she's like making a transmission, isn't she? And that gets cut off.
Oh fuck yeah.
And London are like, oh fuck, transmission's got cut off. We need to find James Bond.
Yeah, because they mispronounce his name on the first thing. They say James Burned.
He's in a club. It's a special club.
A casino. Yeah, he's in a casino in Mayfair. Where
it's a real club, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's closed now, but yeah. And he's playing Shamandafair because he's a piece of shit.
He is. He's playing dipshit's game Shamandafair.
Because it's a game of chance. There's like no skill involved. It's just like you may as well just draw a high card.
Yeah, he draws a high card in Valentin Zukovsky's casino. That's still to this day my favorite Bond gambling moment. But he's playing Shamandafair against a beautiful woman called Sylvia Trench. She is not named.
Yes, good. Well, I was going to say
Sylvia Plath.
Sylvia Plath. And Sylvia Plath goes, I just drank this finger bowl. What's your name? And he goes, Bond, James Bond.
And he only says it like that because Sylvia herself says it weirdly in the first place. She's like,
she's like neurodivergent. She's like,
and he does it mockingly back at her, which is
like
very funny that that's become the official way to say it.
because he's, a piece of shit, and he's just saddled with this. At this point,
he gets the message that's like, "Yo, what up?
Need you to do some work, sir. It's the middle of. It's like fucking 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. You need to come back to the office."
He's drunk.
Off his ass. I mean, he has a martini like at his elbow also. It might not even be a martini yet. I don't know if we had standardized on those. But he's like,
I don't know.
No, absolutely not. I'm not going to come and do some work because I am about to get some chemin de fer at this point.
Yeah, I'm about to get Sylvia Trench on my dick.
I'm about to try my luck in another way because because he doesn't have sex with her yet.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He arranges to.
Ah, okay.
Because she's like, do you want to fuck? And he's like, I gotta go.
Yes, later, because I have a telegram yelling at me.
Yeah,
my boss is gonna fucking yell at me. I have to go.
We go back to the office. The office does not look the same as it should do. Q hasn't been invented yet. He doesn't show up until From Russia with Love.
Really? I couldn't remember if Q was in this.
No Q.
Yeah.
Completely absent.
M just is like, Bond, you have a gay gun for women. There's
a different guy. There's a different Q. He's like, he comes before Q.
Is it not Desmond Llewellyn still, but looking like way younger?
No, I think it's a different guy.
Ah, okay. But so M is like, Bond.
He's P. He comes before Q.
I know his name, but I can't summon it.
Cerebro thing.
He comes in and he's like, Bond, you've got a gay gun for women, and
you can't make fun of me for doing the Cerebro thing because up top I've promised not to look at IMDb or Wiki.
Yeah,
so I'm
not looking at anything.
The 2 webcams that neither of you have on. I'm just staring at 2 red dots on my screen and trying to recall this fucking guy's name.
Bond.
I'm breaking out at the moment, so if I had mine on, you'd be looking at more red dots. But this guy's like, you've got a gay gun, have a better gun.
Yeah, Bond has a 32 Beretta or something like that. And he goes,
I told the story about how I tried to date the heiress to Beretta.
Yes, you did. See, it's all coming together.
Yes.
And then goes, yes, but Bond, you see, this is a gay gun for women. What you need is a 9mm Walther PPK. And I brought in not Desmond Llewellyn to explain it to you and hand you one. And not Q just gives him a gun. No gadgets. He's just like, it's a gun.
That's his gadget, baby. Gun. Take this. Just hands it to him and leaves.
Fuck shit up.
Go to Jamaica, find out.
Fucking tomorrow morning, right? You have to go to Jamaica and find out what the fuck is going on.
Bring a gun on the plane. That's normal for you to do.
But first he goes home.
Don't worry, I'm a cop.
To his house.
This is like one of the only times we see Bond's apartment. Sylvia.
Yeah, we see it twice. We see it in this one and we see it in fucking Spectre.
Yeah.
You've got a secret, Bond, and it's something you won't tell anyone.
This one's much nicer, though.
Yeah, you've got a secret, and it's like fucking IKEA furniture, bare walls. This one's like brocade wallpaper.
It's almost nice.
It lives in one of those townhouses in Zone 1 that only freaks live in.
Yeah, it's fusty, I would say. It's got like a weirdly racist chair.
The decor is very strange, but he does have the finest piece of decor you can hope to have in your house, which is a woman wearing only a top and no bottoms, and she's playing golf with your glasses.
Yes. Yeah.
How she got in or how she knows where he lives, not clear. But
drinking a cocktail and be like, why does this taste of golf ball?
She was originally doing with baseball and they were coated in mud. It's like,
after a delightful evening of pegging, Bond gets on the plane to Jamaica. It's early air travel, so of course it crashes and he dies.
He gets his trench thoroughly Sylvia'd and then gets on a plane the next morning, sort of limping a bit.
She's Sylvia on my trench.
She's Sylvia on my trench in an unusual way. And
he's shaken and stirred, but he gets on the fucking plane. Are there people following him at the airport?
I think there
really
must be.
obviously as well.
We get a following airport scene.
I think it's the 3 guys from earlier, the 3 blind mice. I think they start following him in a hearse in the thing. At this point,
because he meets the world's sweatiest man.
He does it? What?
No, a guy pulls up and is like,
driver.
the driver pulls up and is like, oh, Mr. Bond, I need you to get in the car and come with me to next location.
And he calls M and is like, yo, did you send a driver? And they're like, no. And he's like, cool, sick. And he gets in the car
one
anyway,
bit of like
he's got a big
spycraft
dick.
he does. He makes
Yeah.
the guy pull over, and then like as the guy is about to try and kill him, he like disarms him and like holds him at gunpoint. And he's like,
because he uses the heavy attack.
Yeah. God, he does, because this is where I think this is the movie where we develop the conception of Bond having a light attack and a heavy attack. He only has the 2 moves. He does like heavy attack, light attack, grapples the guy and like makes him give up.
The guy says, "Can I have a cigarette?" And it's the cigarette that kills you instantly.
Full circle.
It's the cigarette that kills you instantly.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, since day one!
It's been there
the whole time.
Right in front of my damn face, and I never realised the cigarette that kills you instantly.
My God.
Like a real cigarette. It was in front of your face, but you weren't looking at it. But yeah, he says, "Can I have a cigarette before I tell you everything?" And then Bond gives him a cigarette, but it's got cyanide in it, and he dies.
Because, Mr. Bond, before you kill me, could I have a last bowl of muesli?
One last durry.
Can I just smash this one last dart? One final dart. That's the tagline for the cigarette that kills you instantly. One last dart.
But the guy dies, and so Bond, I can't remember where he goes, but I remember
Bond
that the guards there are wearing fuck shorts.
Yeah, he just goes to the nearest he goes to the nearest sort of like white society thing in Jamaica to try and infiltrate.
Because recall, this was before Jamaica was independent, so this was just like a crown colony.
Yeah,
it's like the Royal Jamaican Police or whatever with the short shorts, the Bermuda shorts.
Yeah.
The British loved the short shorts. I don't know what was happening. But our
we love to impose them on people.
Schoolboys wear them as well. It's very
colonial system.
They show up in like
shorts.
The Man from Hong Kong as well too. Royal Hong Kong Police wore them as well. But anyway, so I think
Rhodesia
he then talks to a cop. I think he talks to the like commissioner of the police and is like,
yes, who is dubbed very badly.
I had to. A guy just killed himself with a cigarette in front of me. Please, what do I do about this? Who are all of the people on Jamaica?
I know, because then he goes to Strangway's house.
You're right.
And looks around it, and there's a photo of him with fucking Quarrel in the house.
You know what? I had forgotten Quarrel.
I had not forgotten Quarrel. I had not forgotten Quarrel.
Yeah, okay, right, okay, yeah.
So
that's why he then goes and tries to pick him up.
Yeah, he goes to Strangway's house. He finds a hidden radio transmitter, which has been interrupted by the murder of Strangway's and his secretary. Finds the picture of Quarrel, drives to I guess, fishing village.
Yeah, it goes down to the docks.
Yeah, where Quarrel works as a fisherman. And Bond immediately activates racism mode. Not that he hadn't had it active before, but he sort of turns it up a notch. And sort of commandeers Quarrel, who is just this ordinary fisherman, and is just like, "Hey, your guy is dead. I'm the guy now."
No, he doesn't. He doesn't, because he goes to Quarrel and is like, "Yo, what up?" And Quarrel's like, "I don't know nothing. See you later." Quarrel walks off and goes into a bar. And Connery follows him, and it looks like he's picking him up. He goes to talk to him in the back of a bar for gay shit, and then Puss Fella arrives.
Puss Fella, Quarrel's slightly larger friend, a man who is sort of equal parts fat and muscular.
Not even appreciably a large guy, just who they had on deck.
Well, he wrestles alligators.
Yeah, exactly. That's the line from Quarrel. Quarrel's like, "You don't want to be trying nothing here." Puss Fella wrestles alligators.
And he does the sort of 60s movie restraint thing of pulling a guy's suit jacket down slightly over their shoulders, totally immobilizing them.
But I think
I've never had this happen to me before, so I actually don't know if that would.
I don't know.
Maybe it just
would undo the jacket, to be honest.
I think
how are you going to do it? Your arms are trapped. You can't get to the.
Oh fuck!
You can't get to the jacket button.
Shit.
He gets a gun on them, and then somebody puts a gun in his back, and it's Felix.
Yes.
Yeah. The first Felix Leiter. He's not gay. He's white in this one.
Yeah,
that's right. He's straight and white. Most boring Felix Leiter.
Yeah,
not a very memorable Felix Leiter.
Not even old.
And Felix Leiter is like, the CIA are also invested in Jamaica because why wouldn't we be? But because this is like 1962, we're going to follow your lead, Mr. British man, because you do still technically occupy this place as the colonial power.
Yeah. I don't really remember what happens next, but there is a scientist?
Yes, here's the thing, right? This is the bit that we missed. When he talks to the cop, he asks the cop, "Who are all of the white guys on Jamaica?" And the cop is like,
he's like, "Can you give me a dramatis personae, please?"
There was Strangways, there was this other guy, and there was this guy called Professor Dent, who is a rock scientist.
He was a rocks guy.
And
he's a geologist. He doesn't play guitar.
Yeah, we're all having dinner tonight if you want to come, in between sort of like getting in fights with the guy who wrestles alligators. It'll be this evening. So Bond goes to this dinner where they're all in black ties sitting on the veranda. The cop like makes his excuses and leaves early. And he has this sort of like bit of back and forth with Dent about like rocks and stuff. And Dent is the world's sweatiest man, is the other thing. He is terrified all the time. And so he talks to Dent about Strangways, and Dent's like, I don't know what could have possibly happened to him.
It's like going like the fucking scene in the airplane. It's just pouring off his forehead. He's like, I don't know anything about that. You want to come by my lab at some point?
There's some like, I think Felix tells Bond that there's a mysterious Chinese guy called Dr. No on an island called Crab Key. And Quarrel's like, I'm afraid of ghosts, I won't go there.
Yeah, Crab Key is mega haunted by a dragon.
He's got a dragon in Crab Key.
Yeah.
And Quarrel's like, well, I'm superstitious, obviously, because on account of my race. And Bond's like, yes, of course.
Yes, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
I think this is also the point at which Bond tells Quarrel to fetch his slippers for him.
No, that's later. I remember that. That comes later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's way later.
This is the point where Dent goes to Crab Key, with
the fucking like automatic doors, which were the future in the sort of, and he sits in this modernist room, and like under a big spotlight, and a disembodied voice is like, "Well, you've fucked it up now, haven't you, Dent?"
The Canadian man.
Like,
yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you take this fucking spider,
yes,
and kill that fucker."
Kill Bond.
And Dent's like, yes, 100%.
Tonight.
Kill Bond. Now.
He puts the spider in Bond's room. Sean Connery shits himself.
Because Connery has to go and visit him at his lab first, where he looks at some rocks, and he's like, oh, those are some interesting rocks. And he's like, oh yeah, they're quite radioactive or whatever. Only find them on Crab Key. Don't know where that is, by the way. Anyway, go to sleep. Don't worry about it.
He's on the way out. Check out my secretary. She's Chinese, I think. And the actress, not Chinese.
Yeah, she's a white woman in yellow face.
Miss Taro, and she's just wearing yellow face.
Miss Sparrow, the inventor of Sparrows.
No, Miss Taro, the inventor of the root vegetable.
Fuck shit. Heir to the Taro fortune. So Miss Taro, he
as opposed to Miss Taro, who was that last in the
in
the
Live and Let Die.
later.
Yeah, Solitaire. But so yeah.
With the costumes. Yeah.
The spider gets let into Bond's room. It like creeps on him. Bond wakes up.
One spider too many.
He hates it. And he wakes up and he does like a fucking 3-hit combo on this spider
with a shoe.
He like punches the shit out of it.
He like kills it. He kills it with a shoe, which compare that to the fucking suave, smart thing of Roger Moore killing a snake with like an aerosol can of deodorant and a lighter. He just beats it to death with a shoe.
He smacks it to death with a shoe, and like the musical score is like duh, 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 every time he hits.
Yeah.
You're supposed to really feel this guy's fear of this like clearly harmless tarantula.
Poor little
and
thing.
then having then almost been killed
for real.
I think he then shows up. It was the 60s. He's probably dead.
Yeah, maybe they did. A little thing comes up and starts like every animal that was seen on this film died.
Yeah,
they were all beaten by Sean Connery with a shoe. Weirdly.
Yeah, we didn't film all of them, but he did it every time. He hates working with animals. To Sean Connery, he'll do it, but when those cameras cut, that animal's fucking toast.
You think what he does to spiders is bad? You should see how he treats women.
Yeah, he'll work with women, but the second that camera's off, oh my
with
god,
the shoe again.
The shoe.
What the fuck happens next?
He goes to fucking Miss Taro's house and is like,
He
hey.
does. No, he gets into a chase on the way there with the blind men in the hearse. That's what he does.
Yeah,
and then they crash.
They crash,
and
and
that's the end of them,
has
like
some
40
line
minutes
about-
into the movie.
he goes, I guess they must have been late for a funeral or something because they were speeding along in a hearse, and it's like, da-da-da.
And then he goes to this woman's house. He sniffs her towel.
It's like, sex, please.
She's in a towel. He unzips the towel.
He unzips the towel.
I forgot about the towel unzip. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. She's wearing a towel because she's been in a shower naturally as Connery is about to show up. So every woman had to be like incidentally nude. Mm-hmm. She's just wearing a towel, and as he takes it off, it plays the sound of a zip.
She's in Yellowface. They shag.
Yeah, she puts that on right after the shower. Like it's hard to catch her out Yellowface on.
Yeah, and then she offers to make dinner, and he says, "No, I don't want you to get dishpan hands."
Yeah, and then he says, "We should go out somewhere."
I'm feeling Italian and musical.
Feeling Italian and musical.
He wants Italian food on Jamaica in the 60s.
Where are you going, fella?
I want to eat fettuccine Alfredo on Jamaica in the middle of summer, and I want someone to sing.
Alfredo himself holding the fucking fettuccine up to my face.
Yeah.
I want the photo of me with it.
So I think maybe the like hearse chase crash thing happens now rather than on his way there. I think it's his way from, because she calls them there.
She
think.
calls
that's possible.
She calls Dent. She calls Dent, and Dent's like stall him, shag him, and then I don't know what happens.
No, the hearse chase is.
Oh no, you're right.
It's sort of like
it is.
Yeah.
I figured this out now. Yeah,
the three blind men are actually like doing.
The hearse chase happens. She calls Dent. Dent's like stall him. She stalls him by like fucking him again, and then
of course.
Connery does another like actual bit of spycraft where he like arranges some pillows in the bed to look like a sleeping Bond. Waits for Dent to come in. Dent fires like 5 or 6 rounds out of a revolver into the thing.
We know this.
Oh yeah, it's 6. And then
the dickhead line.
Yeah, and then Bond goes, "You've shot all of the cum out of your dick. Well, now it's time for me to kill you."
Bond kills him in cold blood.
That's a Smith & Wesson, and you've had your 6. The man is not holding a Smith & Wesson.
No. You're holding a revolver.
Not
It's
a
an
revolver.
automatic. Yeah.
Professor Dent's last
got,
words are
3 more left.
She's like, doesn't make
Actually,
any
it's
fucking...
It's a...
And he kills him in cold blood. He shoots him in the back.
What happens to fucking Chinese in quotes lady?
Miss Taro? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I think she goes
Beaten
back
to
her
death
home
with
planet.
a shoe in the bathroom.
Fucking idea. Yeah, the second scene cut, he just like fucking killed that actress. So.
Just like he did to just like he does in Goldeneye. Once he shags a woman, she just disappears. I don't know. I can't remember what happens to that character.
Just fucking, I don't know. It's the bit
the woman that stays in the movie the whole
Simpsons
time.
where they send Poochie back. They just lift the animation frame. It's like, there she goes.
Does he go to Crab Key now? Is that what happens now?
I think he tries to get Quarrel to go to Crab Key. Quarrel doesn't want to go to Crab Key because of the dragon. And he's like, this is when he's like, fetch my shoes.
No. Sorry, no. That
not.
doesn't happen till later.
When does he
happen,
fucking...
I'll tell you when we get to it.
He takes the shoes off later on. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we go to Crab Key, and then they sleep on the beach, I think. Because in the morning, Honey Ryder comes out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh,
the famous shot of the white bikini.
Ursula Andress, and she's like,
underneath the mango tree, me honey, and me, and like Sean Connery.
Honey Ryder is like a shell diver.
Yes, and she has the mind of a child.
Yes.
We get a lovely little scene with her and Sean later on where she's just like, oh yeah, my dad, I never learned anything. I've been reading the dictionary and I'm up to M.
I never learned to read.
And that was just like there in the movie. It's like, okay, sure.
She has some history, like her landlord, I think, tried to come on to her and she killed him and ran away, and now is a shell diver who reads up to M.
Based.
And Bond makes a lot of fun of her for a woman who is wearing a massive knife, as she is throughout the whole thing.
Well, the knife is metaphorical, of course. It stands for penis.
Her penis.
At this point, the patrol
penis.
boat comes around the corner, opens fire at them with a machine gun. Then Bond turns to Quarrel and says, "Fetch my shoes," and runs.
What?
Yes,
Yeah, no,
it is
way
when they
worse
are
than you
under
remember.
fire.
He was getting shot at and he stopped to be racist?
Yes. Yes.
Genuinely. Like,
Yes.
it resets his prime directive to be racist, like, kicks in while he's under fire.
Oh my god.
Like,
So
go
this
get
then
my shoes.
perpetuates a chase scene with the three of them where it's like him, Quarrel, and his new childlike woman trying to evade the like guards.
I don't remember how they get away, but they sneak up a river.
I'm reasonably certain that Bond like does the thing of like hiding under the surface of a swamp and breathing through a reed.
He does
Something
that,
like yeah. But Bond kills the guard at one point, and Honey Rider's like, "Why?" And he's like, "I had to. It's because I'm a man, you know."
Yeah, and I believe I raised a question: how did he kill this guy for the first time? 'Cause he just sort of
he just
grabs this
hugs
fella.
him.
He
Yeah.
just grabs him, throws him over,
hugs
dead
him.
instantly. Yeah.
And then R.I.P. Quarrel. Quarrel gets owned by the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon shows up. Okay, let's discuss the dragon a little bit because it's been a moment. But the dragon is what appears to be a jeep.
Yeah.
With
Bunch
tank
of shit
tanks.
welded to it.
Yeah, with
To
like
make it
just a
look like
bunch
a
of
tank.
plates welded, and it's got a flamethrower at the front. Like this thing does not appreciably look like a dragon.
It
It's got
does breathe
wheels.
fire.
It's got wheels.
No, it's got tracks, and you know it's got tracks because there's a point earlier on where there are some fucking like tank tracks in the mud in the jungle, and Quarrel earnestly points to them and goes, "Dragon."
And you know what? He was
Bond's
fucking
like, "You're
right.
an idiot." Yeah.
Yeah, and Bond's
was
like,
right,
you
'cause it's-
fool, you're a member of a childlike races, you imbecile, you bastard.
He was right because it was a dragon, and the dragon also has like a dragon mouth and eyes painted on it, and it has a flamethrower, and it just like a guy in the turret just barbecues Quarrel.
Quarrel gets fucking aced by this
Quarrel
dragon.
gets
Bond's like, "Oh no, my
absolutely
shoes!"
melted. Bond's not even like, "Oh no," he ducks to the side, and that's it. That's all he needs to do is just duck to the side. And he's like, "Oh, well, I guess it was real then."
Doesn't bring up Quarrel again
No,
until one. He mentions him later at one point, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Moore has Quarrel Jr. at some point too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he does.
And
They get
then there's-
captured by Dr. No's dudes.
Yeah, they
They're
get brought to
showered?
like a bauxite mine or whatever, where they get showered and
Yeah, they
like
get showered
their
'cause of the
fingernails
radiation.
scraped and stuff because of the radiation. Because they've just been like running around on like radioactive rocks and dust and stuff, which is presumably why Honey Rider isn't in another movie.
Oh yeah, no, she dies very swiftly thereafter.
Because of the shoe.
Quite some time.
He beats her he has to get the shoe back in order to beat her to death.
They had to hold it off until the movie ended.
That's why he says, "Fetch my shoes."
woman killing shoes.
He's not
Get my
bothered about the
heavier
machine gun
shoe.
fire. He just wants to beat her to death with a shoe.
Yeah, he goes home and instead of like guns, he's just got like a collection of increasingly heavy shoes.
You know, most people have that in their houses. It's like walking into someone's house, seeing a bunch of different pairs of shoes, being like, "The fuck kind of sick shit is
No,
this?"
you dickhead. I mean, like on the wall, like you press a button and the fucking wall rotates and there's a load of them there. Not like a shoe rack. I conceptualize that people tend to have shoes.
Deb, you've been in my flat, right? Where you walk in and right next to the door, there's like all the shoes. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. I've seen it. It's like
I personally would love to have like a revolving wall thing that unveiled all of my shoes. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, if
yeah,
you
actually, I think
retire
that'd be
from
sick.
being a spy, you've still got to use all the. Or if you hire a flat, if you rent a flat and it's used to belong to a spy, it's got a bunch of revolving wall panels. You can just put all your shoes and shit
Oh,
back.
yeah, you can put
All
whatever
your-
you want in there.
All your cooking
Yeah.
implements, like it's really cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pressing the button, all of my cooking implements, a bunch of like pots and pans fucking fly out as they rotate.
The loudest fucking noise you can imagine occurs. I'm like very suavely. I've invited you to my flat and I'm like trying to seduce you. I'm like, check this shit out. Press clang, 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 clang.
Like a full-size cast iron just battering
Yeah, exactly
off
like
the
that.
cans.
Yeah. There's a pan like stuck in one of the revolving panels.
The revolving panel just like goes back and forth. Like
so
it just
it's
gets
a spatula.
Stuck.
The spatula's stuck inside it. You can't open it.
You have to like reach in and jiggle it. You know.
Yeah, my revolving wall panel's stuck on a fucking spatula.
My fucking pasta straighteners down there.
For fuck's sake.
Is this the bit where Dr. No's put out clothes for them and Honey Ryder's hair changes colour?
Yeah, she's getting increasingly blonde throughout the movie.
They have like separate cells. Like the big sort of selling point of this base is it's got automatic doors, right? Which is super high tech. There's not even like a control panel or anything. You just have to like be near them and
Star
it
Trek
opens.
shit.
Exactly. And so Dr. No invites them for dinner, I think it is, although we haven't seen him yet. It's like the voice invites them for dinner. It's like, you were invited for dinner. So Bond comes down along with Honey Ryder to encounter the fish window.
Yeah, main character
the
of the show.
$1 million fish window.
Fucking fish window.
The moment when I knew this podcast would work, the fish window. That they're in sort of an underwater cavern in which there is a large window, which is very clearly a projection of film of fish, like underwater film, but taken too close.
They're like massive. They're like huge fucking fish, and they're like clearly like goldfish as well.
Yeah,
like, they're
clearly like ordinary fish, and one of them swims past, and it's like 3 times the size of Bond's head, and you can see him be like, "Huh," but they didn't have enough money to fix it, and so at this point, Dr. No enters. A second character in Yellowface strikes the movie. He enters, and he goes, the fish window concentrates the fucking fish to make him bigger or whatever.
$1 million,
first line is $1 million, Mr. Bond.
I have the very, very quiet drop, in fact.
$1 million, Mr. Bond.
And he spent $1 million, Mr. Bond, on
the fish window.
The fish window
to magnify the fish.
Which he never like really seems to enjoy. Never comes up again.
Yeah, the fish window. Yeah. The window specifically for fish. You know.
And Bond, I don't think Bond even really says anything about it. He's just
Bond
like,
doesn't mention it. He's like, all right.
That's okay. Clearly hoping Bond is impressed.
An awful lot of fish.
You must fucking love fish, I guess. Cool.
Should have called you Dr. Fish.
Is there any way I can get to them? I've got this shoe. I fucking.
He's like banging on the glass with the shoe.
He's like
making no impact.
So it's starting to crack, and the doctor's like, "Oh, Bond. Come over here.
It's $1 million window. You asked. Not to mention the shoes were expensive too.
Pressing the button, and the fish window rotates, tipping a bunch of fish into my lap. Along with a shit
and Bond just like immediately, like no hesitation, sets to work hitting him with a shoe. Like he doesn't even remark upon the weirdness of the window rotating. He's like,
Bond is doing a fucking
it's like tap
routine on these fish. Yay! It's so good.
Oh my god.
No, to me it's funnier if he's just like one hand, like just like both fists are just working. It's like unleashing like a Wing Chun, like fucking.
I think he like fully commits himself to each fish, right? It's merciless. He like walks over to each fish, like stands over it. You get the like, then he goes to the next fish, and it's just like in that order, and like the last fish hears its doom approaching. I think that's what happens. Fish so harmed. So Bond looks at the fish window. Your new favorite podcast does a bit for about 20 minutes about the sort of budgeting for Dr. No's base.
Because he's like, because the backstory to Dr. No, as you get in like this battle of wits between him and is that he stole $10 million from the Tongs.
Yes.
Tongs.
Yes.
And then spent a tenth of that budget on the fish window, which I think I found somewhat remarkable at the time.
Yeah. Other 9 million went just for like, that did all the bases, all the salaries. The dragon
Dragon was put together on a fucking budget. I'll tell you that.
He's got some
the patrol boats.
There's a shoestring dragon.
I can't remember when, but we do at some point find out his plan, which is of course rocket fall down.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that because he's like, now come for dinner because I'm very civilized. I'm wearing a Nehru jacket and leather gloves. On the way
this guy
to
also
dinner,
wearing yellow face, by the way. Just like, supposed to be Chinese, just isn't.
Yeah. On the way to dinner, Bond notices a stolen painting on an easel, which was just like recently stolen as the time the movie came out. So you're meant to be like, Dr. No was behind this. That was like
a contemporary sight gag for like the early 1960s, which I don't think we got at the time.
What's interesting is
that does make me think about like movies coming out recently because they love to do like contemporary references, like Glass Onion, which I think is a really good movie.
Yeah,
but there's like, imagine from the 60s, and I imagine in like 80 years, a fucking film review podcast doing like Kill Benoit Blanc, right? And they're like, who the fuck is Jared Leto? Why are these guys talking about Jeremy? Like they're just not getting the contemporary bits at all.
Yeah,
I think about this quite often.
Kill Benoit Blanc is like all three of our children who are like very much like us but smaller.
I'm saying, how the fuck did that happen?
I don't know.
It's in 80 years' time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not getting any more fertile.
They'll figure that shit
They'll
out.
invent that. Listen, if we can't invent in 80 years' time a way for trans women to get pregnant, and believe me, I'm conducting my own independent research in that area.
I can already do it. I can do it now. Yeah? I can impregnate any trans woman.
I mean, shit. Then fucking, we gotta generalize this pretty soon. No. I'm just saying the
podcast lives on then.
Exactly, to kill Benoit Blanc. But
simple to me.
80 years time trying to explain what a mogus is.
Yeah, just like, what the fuck is it? Like, can you imagine if we had a little shot of fucking James Bond at the start of this one just playing like, playing Chemin de Fer. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, Chemin de Fer was 1960s Among Us.
They're gonna be like, oh, fucking look at this cunt, he's playing Chemin de Fer.
Among Us, a post-electric play.
Among Us, what a fucking game for idiots. Simple.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember in lockdown we played a lot of Chemin de Fer.
Playing Among Us.
Yes. Everything that's old is new again. But so
I hope our children have a podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be like Muppet Babies,
have a real job.
You know? The Young Justice League. But so
they'll get to review the movies that we're in.
Dr. No sits them down. And he's like, here is some delicious food. I think it's like lobster. It's not like 100 times the size or whatever. Because
I think it's a ridiculous meal. It's like 3 grapes or some shit.
It's like
one
3 grapes and a slice of ham
lobster.
or something.
Yeah.
He's on that e-girl Twitch streamer
there's definitely
diet.
a lobster because he's got robot hands and he dramatically cracks the lobster with them.
Yes.
Yeah, and so Bond then goes, well, you must be a communist then. At which point he hits him with,
You are just a stupid policeman.
and the reason why he's a stupid policeman is because East and West are just points of the compass.
Yes.
Each as stupid as the last. He works for, well, in fact, he just fucking says,
I'm a member of Spectre.
Spectre?
Spectre. The member of Spectre. The
Can I get a clean
special
drop
executive.
of Abby saying Spectre here? I'd like to edit this weirdly.
Spectre?
Perfect, thank you.
Spectre.
And now...
I'm a member of Spectre.
Spectre?
Spectre.
Spectre?
Spectre?
Spectre.
Spectre.
Spectre?
The member of Spectre.
Spectre?
Spectre?
Spectre.
That's all, folks.
The special executive for
Corruption,
terrorism, revenge, and extortion.
Revenge, yeah, because Bond's just like, oh fuck, could you put me in a revenge department?
Allies, questioning Italians.
Italian.
No, don't do any callbacks.
That'll make sense next week, listeners.
I'm feeling Italian and musical. So he tries to recruit Bond. Right? He's like, well, you're good enough to get this far. Maybe you should come to work for Spectre in our Italian section. We keep it segregated. and Bond is like, no, I'm an agent of the British government. To which that's when Dr. No calls him a stupid policeman.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to tell you my plan now, because I'm going to kill you in a minute. So I'm going to tell you the plan. The plan is the Americans are launching missiles from Florida as like tests or whatever, or for the space program. Oh, that's why Felix was there, was because the Americans, the American missiles have been falling down and they want to know why. And they've traced some of it back to like near Jamaica. And so Dr. No's
his fucking plan is that he's built a nuclear-powered gyroscope wobbler.
Yeah.
And he's using that to make the fucking rockets fall over. And then when he's proven that that's viable, he's going to blow his base up and go somewhere else.
Yes.
He's going to extort the US for like millions of dollars and then detonate the entire base and leave. And go somewhere else.
In the Caribbean for generations. And this is where Bond hits him with the ableism.
The line. He exploits his disability against him. He goes,
well, we can't all be geniuses, can we? Tell me, does the toppling of American missiles really compensate for having no hands?
Because he's fucking noticed his robot hands. Because he lost his real hands in like an accident, an evil genius accident.
Hands fell off.
Something like that.
Like they were like Lego claws. Yeah.
Also, I got to point out that
he does just have the Lego claws.
The line feeding into we can't all be geniuses is because Dr. No is talking about how his dad gives good brain or whatever.
The successful criminal brain is always superior. It has to be.
Which is such a fucking tautology, right? Like if it's successful, then of course shut up. Can't.
It's just
what?
the flashback music, and then it's just Alice going, and the superior criminal mind just spent 1/10 of your budget on a window for fish.
Yes.
the superior criminal mind, which is going to knock over some rockets with the wobbler.
I've got the fucking radiation-powered gyroscope wobbler, and you're fucking done.
And so
Honey Ryder is taken away to be fed to crabs.
Yeah, or drowned. Something not quite sure.
I forgot that they just were like, all right, Honey Ryder, stop being in the movie now.
Yeah, they're like, okay, well, I'll go take care of your girl. You're going to come around on this being recruited to Spectre thing, even though you're being kind of like tsundere about it now. So you go back to your cell. We'll take care of Honey Ryder. And then the second Bond's out of earshot, he's like, kill her, which is, I think, our first kill him kind of moment. And then we don't see her again for a long time. I
can't remember how Bond gets out of his cell.
I think he lures a guy in and then punches him.
That seems like how he solves most of his problems back in the 60s, I think.
50-50. It's either that or a vent. I don't remember whether it's a vent.
Oh, it might have been the vent. I think it was the vent.
Because, it is the vent.
Water comes down on him.
He like lures the guy in Goldfinger and then punches him.
Does. Yeah.
This is the vent. So he punches out a vent. He climbs out through the vent. He goes, "This is now I know how TV dinner feels."
He steals a big radiation costume from a dude.
Yeah, everybody's walking around in big, like sort of coveralls with a big plastic helmet that doesn't look very breathable.
Because Dr. No has an open nuclear reactor in the room.
Yeah, because he ran out of the budget for radiation shielding, spending it on the fish window.
Uh-huh.
So he's just got like a fucking pool reactor in the room, which I would like to clarify. A pool reactor is pretty safe. Water is pretty good at absorbing.
Oh, sure, you can swim in it, yeah.
But
not swim too close.
Wouldn't put one in my main control room. I would have that in a different room.
So at this point, Dr. No is in the control room. He's like trying to organize another missile wobbling because the Americans are launching a missile. He's going to wobble it.
Neutrinos.
But Bond walks in disguise, and the disguise is wearing a totally transparent helmet, but he's trying to keep his like head down. And he's
Bond's
trying to
dronified.
He's trying to like quietly sabotage the thing. He's like throwing switches and stuff, and Dr. No immediately fucking catches him. He's like, "Oi, who's that guy switching all the switches wrong on purpose?"
There's
Grab
a danger
him.
dial?
There is a danger dial.
There is a danger dial. Yeah.
And looks back like a contestant on The Price is Right, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, because Dr. No's like, hey, turn that down. He's like, oh, you meant up? You meant more up? So the guards try to grab him. He fights the guards, but he has pushed the danger dial too high. And the room starts to have problems of the explosions variety.
Yeah, the water starts boiling. It's too radioactive now. Everyone else evacuates, and we get like genuinely our first ever Kronstein Rosette winner. This was posthumous and retroactive, but the podcast looking ass guy, who's just like goes for Bond, just a random mook. Everyone else is evacuating, and this like kind of tubby fella just fucking tries to kill Bond, and you're like, okay, all right.
Incredible.
Kronstein Rosette to podcast MF.
Yeah, podcast looking MF.
R.I.P.
Podcast fella.
Podcast fella.
So that guy
Pod finger.
Pod fella. So that guy gets killed, and Dr. No
and he gets fucking killed.
Oh, instantly. So the base is kind of exploding. People are running for the exits. Dr. No is like, I guess I'll handle this personally, and he would be like cracking his knuckles at this point if he had knuckles to crack, but he doesn't. So he, still in his also sort of like perspex helmeted suit, gets in a very, very slow fist fight with Bond over the big reactor pool, which is now bubbling and roiling and stuff. It's a great Ken Adams set, by the way.
It's really good. Like, I remember it being good.
It's like on a gantry, and Bond defeats him despite his like superior metal grip of his hands, which nearly crush Bond, by like knocking him off the gantry into the pool where he
can't climb up the thing because he's got metal hands.
Yes.
Yeah, which is weird because he just proves that he has like unbelievable grip strength. But then it's fine.
Bond is like disabled much, bitch.
Yeah. This is before the era of like Bond one-liners, but so he just looks at like Dr. No boiling in the fucking open water reactor and is like, well, if you had hands, that probably wouldn't have worked out like that.
There's an ableist slur.
It's like disabled.
Dickhead.
Physically disabled.
What about man's territory? Dickhead. And he just like kicks him straight into the open reactor. It's
He rescues Honey Ryder from crabs.
Yeah, Honey Ryder, she's like...
She's in the crab room.
She's like shackled down on like a slightly inclined plane.
She's in the crab zone.
I guess the
water
idea
is slowly, like it's a tide thing. She's below where it would be at high tide, but above at low. So she's like watching it come in.
Yeah,
I don't know if the crabs specifically were part of it, but
they don't really like sort of let the horror of that sink in because he just lets her out of it pretty easily, and the crabs.
I remember you telling us they got the crabs in to be in the film, but they'd been cold and so they were sleepy and they couldn't do it.
Yeah, and also Sean Connery had to beat all of them to death with a shoe after that scene.
He killed them all before they could get on
a bunch of refrigerated crabs.
They had no chance, poor bastards.
Individually
mashed. They're in linguine now.
And then the usual way for a Bond movie to end is like the base explodes, they're forced to use some evacuation means like a lifeboat or a like capsule or something, and then they fuck in there, and then Felix or MI6 or whatever find them. But instead I think they just fucking leave.
No, they do definitely shag on the boat.
I believe they shag on the boat.
Okay, and then
shag on the boat?
I think so, and then we get the like
they're going to shag on the boat.
Credits over the thing. As we zoom out, we see Bond, beat her to death with a shoe and then throw her body over the.
It's not shown, but he's like clearly beating her to death with a shoe in the boat.
Yeah,
that's why in Russia with Love, when Rosa Klebb has the knife shoe, Bond's like, "Oh fuck, a worthy opponent."
Exactly.
It's like, oh my god.
See, this is why Plan A was a good idea, was because we would invent new bits each time. Yeah. You have to admit it was a good idea.
I think this is a good episode. If it's not over, we got a few more minutes of time to fill.
It's fine. It's fine. We can fill time because
I'm surprised by how well I remember this.
We have a science-based rating system.
We do.
I guess.
Yeah,
you have a science-based system.
We get a James Bond will return, and then we get a science-based rating system. It's called.
I'm not looking at what we gave it.
It's called the Scum System. It's called SMARM, cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, misogyny. How smarmy do we think Dr. No was with no recollection?
I don't know. I think it might have been a bit.
Italian musical?
Italian musical, ableism. I mean, that definitely counts.
No hands. Yeah, the no hands line.
Yeah, no hands line.
That's like a high bar for SMARM to this day, as being like, tell me, you might be very smart, but does it compensate for being physically disabled? And it's like,
I'm writing this down, by the way, on the back of the page that I have the scores on, and then I'll turn over and I'll check when we're done.
Yeah, gorgeous.
4, 5.
4? I'm happy with 4. I don't think
to 4. I would even argue a bit lower. I would say 3 maybe, but 4 I can do.
The no hands thing's got to be like
pretty high. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cultural insensitivity.
Filmed on unceded Jamaican land.
That's right.
Yellowface
times 2. Yeah, 8, I guess.
It's not a great way to do filming.
No, I would say not.
Unprovoked violence.
Well, I mean, he fucking kills podcast guy, but that is kind of in self-defense.
He kills Dent unprovoked. Dent had no bullets left by his own admission.
That was a straight-up murder.
Of a guy who probably could have provided quite valuable information.
7.
Yeah, okay. Fuck it.
Misogyny.
7? Yeah, fuck it. 7. This is non-canon anyway. Fucking 7.
Baby brain woman.
Women and children, 7.
Or for sex, as Sylvia Trenches.
Yeah.
7.
I think we held off last time because we wanted to give him room to get worse, but fuck it now.
We know. He did get worse at the very least. He did. But 7 still, fuck him.
That gives us a total score of 26. So I can now...
What do we give it?
I can now reveal that when we first watched Dr. No, we gave it 17.
Great inflation happens to the best of us.
However, even if it had 26, it still wouldn't be the worst Bond film we've watched. The worst one we've ever seen is still Live and Let Die on a truly unassailable 28. The worst film we've ever seen on the show.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, this is up there with Clear and Present Dangers. Oh, ho, ho, si, senor.
Oh, good God.
Well, I mean, I think I learned a lot from barely remembering a Bond film, which is I don't miss him.
What did this film say about masculinity?
In the 60s, you could do whatever you wanted if you were a white dude. You just do whatever the fuck you wanted. You could kill a woman with your shoe. You could kill a crab with a shoe, kill a fucking
that's why he took so long to rescue her, because he was killing every individual crab in that room.
Yeah, no crab left alive in that room.
Stinks.
Remember, no crab.
What? Wait, so this is... No crab suggests an elevator full of 4 crabs and one undercover CIA agent disguised as a crab who are going to shoot up a crab airport in order to frame the American... Yeah,
they're getting on the back of a ray, yes.
For doing an attack on Crabland. So that an ultra-nationalist crab general...
Yes.
Killing, who had his arm shot off by Captain Price. Indeed. One of his arms,
I guess.
Ran Krebsay.
Shot off by Captain Price. Can conduct a coup that will lead the US to ally with Iran and declare with Russia.
Allow me to make this easier for you, Alice. In this imaginary universe I'm imagining, it's the exact same as our world, except everyone is a crab.
Crabton Price?
It's like the movie
It's
Cars
actually just
1-to-1.
It sounds ridiculous when you lay it out, but it's actually just the same as us, but everyone's
when you say that, then when you say no crab, that suggests that sort of Russian would be like, it'd be like if Russian were like the lingua franca of the whole world.
Yes, okay, so perhaps it's just crustaceans then. Maybe the United States are lobsters. I don't know.
I could buy that. Although then you have sort of like the prospect of like a sort of a squid Captain Price.
I do like a Squid Captain prize. We're reinventing Splatoon. We're back to Splatoon.
Do we have any awards to give?
Podcast.
We gave the Constantine Rosette podcast looking MF. Do we have any others?
We have a lot more awards to play with right now. I guess we could give
Good Night to Quarrel.
Good Night to Quarrel, absolutely. I think we could give the Brian Cox Memorial Award in Intelligence to Felix Leiter.
Yes?
You could, however, I think you could also give it plausibly to Dr. No, given...
I'm a member of Spectre.
Good point.
Spectre.
Good point.
He not only identifies Spectre, which Bond had no idea about, but then, literally spells it. He tells him what it stands for in both senses.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, okay, 100%.
Special executive for contortion, fucking juggling, I don't know.
Italians.
Italians.
And revenge, which is the same sort of a tautology.
The Italian sector and the revenge sector really have a lot of overlap there.
Yeah, really, they should just be collapsed into one sector. But
here's the thing, though.
What the fuck would the acronym be? It would be ridiculous.
I've really enjoyed doing this. Yeah. And I would love to do this with different Bond movies every so often, because now this has reset my brain to the point where I'm half remembering things about From Russia with Love.
I would love to do From Russia with Love because, and I'll tell you this for free, I don't remember a fucking thing about From Russia with Love.
Can I tell you one thing about From Russia with Love? Welcome to Spectre Island. Great honor.
Yes.
Incredible movie.
I remember lesbianism. I remember the collar. Oof.
Karen Bate saving himself from being assassinated because he was too much of a pussy hound.
I have one of those now. I got one since the last time we did the show.
Oh, hell yes.
But yeah, no, so I genuinely think we should do this again, because I think maybe this would not have carried it for like doing a whole podcast all the time, but I really want to go back to this well. Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Both you two and the listener.
I mean, do we have any thoughts, reflections, given that it's our 100th episode?
Nah.
It's a great honor. Like, no, I mean, fucking, this doesn't feel like work. None of the podcasts I do feel like work, but this one feels like work the least. Just feels like hanging out with my friends, talking into a microphone, which is incidentally there. Like, the fact that other people enjoy it is great, but I would have fun even if no one else was listening. So,
yeah, it's important to note that the major reason that we kept going after we finished and we did actually kill James Bond is that doing this is just an immense amount of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also, the other thing that I want to say is 2023, more live shows.
Yes, we would like to do more live shows. Yeah,
we've got some plans.
Chasing that high. Yeah,
live shows.
Watch this space. And thank you for listening. If you have done for if you've been listening, especially since Dr. No, like if you've gone back and listened all the way through, then
well done. If you've listened to 100 episodes of Kill James Bond, then well done.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for staying with us, and we hope you'll continue to do so.
See you on the 200.
Year, next year, the year after that, until we go back to until it's all of our children identically doing this.
Kill James Bond, a post-electric podcast.
That's
200th episode where we'll do Dr. No. I think it's very funny that we're essentially doing like the little Karibo thing of just like redoing Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged episode 1 every so often as a bit.
I don't know what that means.
We've got to get Little Karibo on.
It's all fucking weeb shit.
We've got to get Little Karibo on.
I would absolutely love to get Little Karibo on.
You're just saying sounds to me at this point, but yeah, sure, why not?
There's a few other guests that I want to get on. One in particular that I can think of. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We shall see. I think we've all got some.
I'll cut that. Just to lend as we end all of our podcasts.
That's right.
Just bleep it.
The left wing needs, role models for young men.
Cut the mic. That's what me and Abby are providing. We are the role models for young men. Yeah. None of us are men. Don't be men. Right. Transition.
Do that. See you next time. Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Thank you for listening to yet another episode of Kill James Bond. What 100 episodes it has been. We've laughed, we've cried, we've made friends for life along the way. Not with any of you guys though. You aren't real to me. We just make these episodes and put them on the internet. Whatever happens after that is sort of their own problem. I mean, with like the guests, they're pretty cool, and my co-hosts who are also extremely lovely. And of course, with our £15 and above patrons, who are Christine Fox, Amanda Comet, Freya Aloysius, Gustavo Lira, Jack Holmes, Mike Berg, Thomas Oberhart, Nick Boris, Kentucky Fried Commie, Yarrick, Nathan Amori, Labour Delenda Est, Commissar Ozymandias, Day of Thems, Library Hitman, Eve Crime, Jack Drummond, Jonathan Gerdes, Callan Burney, Max Gaimanhart, Jay Martindale, Kit Devine, Hell, Lysamesh, Jonathan Siegel, Harrison Fuller, Big Titty Goth Girl, Mothman, Tarp O, George Rohack, Trip, Clara Has Burned the Closet, Alex, Violet Cybra, Liz and Ash in Florida, Trans Robot, Men's Room Louie. Alright, Men's Room Louie, that's a fucking... That's a good name. Cass Frass, Ronan, The Spy Who Ruined My Marriage, Elizabeth Cox, Omnomnomni Consumer Products. I'm going to say that exactly once more, and then I will simply say consumer products from here on out. Zoe Shepherd, Turfs Eat Shit and Die Alone, Quinn Valeri, Finn Ross, Alfredo, a real life friend of mine, Wolfie, Elizabeth Cox is also a real life friend of mine. Big Old Boy, Al Irving, Robert Greensmith, Millie, Josh Simmons, another real life friend of mine, Lauren Bastin, Roll History Pod, and Artemis Potter and Elizabeth. I am a little bit drunk at this point because I just finished recording both this episode and the one for next week, and I was drinking the entire way through them, and now I'm about to edit this episode while still under the influence. So, see how that goes. Kill James Bond, Ars Abby Devon. Producer, the wonderful Nate Bethay. Podcast art by Maddie Lubchansky. And our website by Tom Allen. You shine on, you crazy fucking hogs. Mwah. Here's to another 100.